How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the Bandai Cyborg 00900 number box 1. So for the front of the packaging, you have a really nice window display to see all three figures inside, and I especially like the background because it shows some information and some illustrations of the character behind. So that's a really cool touch. And then it has the pictures of the three characters here as well. So moving to the top, you just have some information about the box as well as some illustrations. And then pictures of the figure on the sides. And then you have some legal stuff for the bottom. And in the back, you just have more detailed information about the figures. And it also advertises the other boxes in this series. And then it shows all the figures grouped together, which is a really cool display. And to open the box, just lift open the side flap. And then you lift open the front cover. And there's the figure all together with their accessories. So looking at 009 first. Although these are older figures, I still feel that the sculpt is really nice. It does capture the likeness of the character really well on how they appear from the show. So taking a closer look at the face, I feel that they have captured the likeness of the character really well. And then I especially like the expression that they gave him. And then the hair is nicely sculpted for the most part. You can see all the little details in the strands of the hair. And then all the spiky in the back as well. It does look really nice. But there is like some seam line here that kind of shows how they put the hair together, but it's not super noticeable or anything. And down to the outfit, you have the iconic 4 buttons, which are nicely sculpted on, and they are a nice matte finish as well. And then the body is a very simple design. Quite a standard sculpt, but it is accurate to how it appears in the show. And then the coat here is a softer material, same for the gun holster. And then down to the shoes, really simple sculpt, but very clean for the most part. And there's very little paintwork on the figure overall, it's mainly just molded in red and black plastic, but the yellow parts are actually painted on. And then moving to the scarf, nicely sculpted and detailed. There's a lot of nice folds in the sculpt. Adds a lot of kind of movement to the scarf overall. For 008, pretty much the exact same body as 009, but the only difference is obviously the skin color and the head sculpt. And again, they've captured the likeness of the character really well, especially like his expression. And then we have 006, which is a complete original sculpt for him. Very accurate to how he appears, has a nice stocky body. And again, the paintwork is not really a whole lot, mainly just the yellow and some on the face. But again, very nicely sculpted and detailed. And this part of the coat is softer material as well, same for the holster. And then on his face, really accurate to how he appears from the show. I think my main gripe is that the peg they used for the scarf isn't the same colour, so it does stand out quite a bit. So for articulation, the neck is on a hinge, so you can twist his head about however you want, and then you can also kind of move it back and forth as well. And the scarf is on a hinge, so you can bring it all the way to the back, but it does make it quite back heavy. And you can also rotate it as well. For the shoulder, it's on a hinge, so you can bring his arm out to the side and then bring his arm forward. But due to the sculpt of the shoulder, it does make the arm point out at an angle. And that's the same for going back as well. And he's got a hinge here, so he's got the bicep swivel and then double jointed elbows, and then he's got the ball jointed wrists. For the torso, it's on a swivel, so you can only just twist his body around like so. And then the hips are on hinges, so he can kick about that far to the side. And because the coat is softer material, it allows the leg more range. And then you can bring his leg forward and then bring his leg back. He doesn't have thigh swivel, but the boot is on a hinge, so you can rotate it about. But he does have double jointed knees, but it does kind of break the sculpt of the boot. It makes it really pointy. And he's got the ball jointed ankle, so you can go back that much, forward that much, can lean side to side as well as twist. So although he's an older figure, he still has pretty decent articulation. And for 008, I'm not going to go through his articulation since he has the exact same body as 009. He has all the exact same articulation. For 006, his head is on a hinge, so you can twist his head about however you want. And then you can also move his head back and forth. And then his scarf is on a hinge, so you can bring it to the back. And then you can also rotate it to the side. The shoulders are on a hinge, so you can bring his arm out to the side and then bring his arm forward. But again, the sculpt of the shoulder makes it at an angle, and that's the same for going back. He has the bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, and then ball jointed wrist. For the torso, it's on a hinge, so you can rotate his body about. And then each leg is on a hinge, so you can bring his leg out to the side, bring his leg forward and back. He doesn't have the thigh swivel, but he can rotate at the boot. Single jointed knee, and then he's got the ball jointed ankle, so you can go back that much, forward that much, lean side to side as well as twist. So although he has a stocky figure, he still has all the articulation like the others, so that's nice. So those are the figures. Let's take a look at the accessories. So each figure comes with a pair of fists, 2 open palmed hands, and then 1 hand to hold their weapon. So they each come with their main weapon, really nicely sculpted and detailed. And then the gun can just easily be slotted into the holster, like so. And then they each come with a stand as well. And then they just simply plug in to the soles of their feet. So my final thoughts are, overall, although these are older figures, they are still really nicely sculpted, and I feel that they've kind of aged pretty well for the most part. Again, nicely sculpted, the paintwork is pretty clean for the most part, good articulation and a decent range of accessories. And if you are a fan of these characters or the show, then I can highly recommend these figures. But they are quite hard to get a hold of now, and the prices for them has risen quite dramatically, so just keep in mind that you might have to pay for quite a high price for these figures. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.